We are live now.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the workshop series, the workshop 3 of the AEZ Boost Hackathon, which will be around hackathons are just the beginning. What next? I think this is a question every builder stumbles upon in the building journey. We have with us Emir today from Long Hash X. Welcome, Emir. Um, any opening words to all the builders watching us today?
Yeah, yeah. Very excited to be here to sort of share this session with you. And, um, you know, I myself work very closely with a lot of early stage builders. So, very happy to also, have this discussion. I prefer if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to send them over in the chat box. And that would be great.
Perfect. Yeah, super excited to kick off this workshop for the AEZ Boost Hackathon. Um, Again, an initiative to promote developing ideas in the Cosmos Hub with solid 39 days of hacking with 3 tracks and a total prize pool of $100,000, which is huge. So, yeah, I think a great moment, a great opportunity for all the builders who have any ideas to put it out there. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into the workshop. If you have any question at any moment, any feedback, question, query, or whatever, let's keep it super interactive. And yeah, let's go on, Emir.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks so much, Mishika. So maybe I'll just give a quick round of introduction to myself. I am a program lead at Longhash X, which is the accelerator arm of Longhash Ventures. And so what does that mean? So as a program lead, one of the things we do is we handle end-to-end processes with our accelerator programs. And of course, uh, very happy to share that I will be the program lead for the upcoming AEZ accelerator that Longhash X is running, of course, alongside Neutron and Atom Accelerator DAO, or AA DAO. On top of that, with regards to this particular hackathon, I am also one of the judges, and very happy to see that we already have quite a number of submissions. So just sifting through that, it gets me pretty excited. So keep that going. Now, before I start, just want to set some context and really outline the objectives or the purpose of why I think having this workshop or this session may be beneficial. So I would say that the purpose are twofold. Firstly, we're doing this in hopes to inspire you, the developers and hackathon participants, to go beyond joining hackathons. So of course, joining hackathons are great, and we'll dive into deeper why joining hackathons are great. But we hope to be able to inspire you to look beyond this, to grow your project to become a well-known, a sustainable tool or applications that people use. And secondly, it's the how, right? Now, once you've decided to go beyond building a hackathon project, what are the steps? How do you get from this stage, which is already great, to being something that, as mentioned before, is a widely known tool that helps either users or other developers. So those are the two things that I hope to sort of touch on or discuss today. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them, and I'll try to address it whenever best. So okay, cool. Now, I just want to reiterate again, the fact that you are here listening in, this is already a very good step. Hackathons like this, particularly, are great. Now, how are they great? Right? Now, hackathons are amazing because it helps you with a few things. Firstly, it helps you to build out something new, uh, but of course, around the set parameters that are set by the hackathon organizers, right? And secondly, you get to learn a lot about the ecosystem, uh, and also know more about the potential of the ecosystem. And in this particular case, the AEZ. Me personally, very much excited about the potential of the AEZ. This is, you know, uh, it's somewhat like a new ecosystem, but also one that's built upon a long-lasting base of great innovations, right? Now we can get into that deeper if you like, but there's so many other workshops that will tell you more about the technical advantages and exciting things going on in the AEZ. So I wouldn't want to um, dig too deep there, but I would perhaps share on the other items here. Thirdly, with hackathons, you get to be connected to like-minded people. So those that are interested in the space, interested in the AEZ, interested in what it could bring, um, and you could foster these relationships to becoming something even bigger than itself. Fourthly, now if you're a great developer and you're participating with all these other projects, of course, as Mishka mentioned before, there's a huge prize pool, and of course, getting some prize or some rewards or funds from this activity or this exercise, of course, is a great reward. But yes, okay, so we've already established, the great things with hackathons, but I want to emphasize that this is just the beginning, right? I've spoken to plenty of projects, early stage projects that join hackathons, and from being a judge, I do see that plenty of them um, look to gain the knowledge and to win the hackathon, but their vision ends there. So my question is more so, why? Why does that vision of your project end there, and why doesn't it go beyond winning the hackathon? And through conversations, I concluded that some, if not most, of projects do not see the past hackathon stage as being something that is easily achieved. It's something that is too daunting, or a big hurdle that is difficult to overcome. So on this note, I would love to share something to you folks, right? So now when you look at the screen, I'm sure that you are aware of at least 4 or 5 of the projects there, if not all of them, right? Now, I just want to share that these projects were at one stage similar to you all, right? They all started off as a small hackathon project, or a project, a small mini passion project that they wanted to test out within the ecosystem at conferences. But from there, it snowballed into something greater, which proves to us that hey, if these are the kind of projects that were in my stage before, what stops us from growing from the current state of building a project that's worthy of winning this hackathon, the AZ Boost Hackathon, to becoming something of this stature in the next year or two, right? So maybe to really drive down the point, maybe let me share a bit more context about a few of the selected projects here, just so that you know more about their journey, and hopefully this will inspire you to also follow in their footsteps. So everyone here, I'm sure, would probably know about Uniswap, right? So right now, of course, the amount of funds, or the amount of users that they have, is very much making them one of the leading AMMs, if not the leading AMM in the space. Now, where did they start off? About 5 years ago, they started off by joining conferences, really just meeting up with people, and participating in all these small mini hacks, right? So these are just the two of the hacks that they participated and sort of like iterated their idea. And back then, from this, they started garnering support, and of course, they launched on mainnet in 2018. In 2020, 2 years later, they launched their token, and right now, they've raised this amount from VCs, with an all-time high valuation of over $20 billion. So this is a great case study to show that within just a few years, they could really go from a project that incepted from a hackathon or a conference to being something as big as it is today. Now we also have Polygon that started a year before that at ETH India, participated in a hackathon there. 2 years later, after like toying around with the idea and re pivoting across different sub hypothesis of the idea, they launched the mainnet and has raised a lot from VCs, and also similarly to Uniswap, has an all-time high of over 20 billion, right? And lastly, now this is perhaps a project that you may not be that familiar with. So they started off last year, right? And the reason why I would love to use this project is because I would say it's closer to home, and it's closer to the stage that you are probably in right now. So they started last year with an idea of using links to send payments or rather tokens to other people, right? So they started the idea last year, joined hackathons, won a few hackathons, and then from there on, they thought, hey, this should be more than just a hackathon project. This is something that really um, has its purpose validated by the community. Let's double down on this and work on this full time. Earlier this year, they joined one of our accelerator programs, and actually, this is a bit outdated. They have already raised millions to sustain their runway. But if you want to check them out, feel free to do so at peanut.to. You could use their product right now. It's quite cool. I love using them, and they're a great example of how you could overcome that huge barrier or that mental block that made you think like, oh, how do I gain product market fit from just being a hackathon project. Now, all right, so we touched on this before. Why join a hackathon? And we touched on 4 reasons, which are on the screen right now. But to me, the most important or the most exciting reasons are the 2 on the right, right? The 2 pink highlighted reasons. One, it's the connections that you make with the like-minded people in the space. Other developers that are interested in building in the AEZ, and interested in growing the pie, or those that are interested in building a new DeFi primitive on Neutron or extending out from Stride, right? So that's one of the reasons why you should join a hackathon at all, and particularly this hackathon. Secondly, the outcome of this hackathon is also a validation or an invalidation of your idea. And from there, you could gain feedback from the judges, from other community members within the space, from other hackathon participants on if, the project that you are working on should be doubled down or should be pivoted in a certain direction. So these are the 2 reasons why I would urge people to join hackathons, and I'm very glad that you all are here listening in, which probably implies that you are, at least considering to submit a project in this hackathon. But perhaps just a change in focus and a change in mindset could lead you a long way from a long-term progress perspective. So now that you know that it's very much possible to get in that list of great projects that we showed earlier, what's next, right? What's next? How do you take the next step? So we see that there is typically, if we narrow it down, or rather focus it down to the early stage of the product life cycle, typically most projects could incept from hackathons and then would have to raise money from VCs or other investors just so that they could have a runway to build out on the solution that they want to. However, there is, I would say, a gap in traction and a gap in reputation between these 2 stages, right? Between the hackathon stage and the investments from VCs or investor stage. So what is that gap, right? How do we bridge that gap? Now, firstly, of course, you as the founders will have to build personal conviction. Oh, sorry. I don't know why this is there. Okay. Build personal conviction in the project that you're building. And this very much goes into the narrative as to why you're building such project. What is the founder problem fit, right? Why are you dedicating a chunk of your life to solve this particular problem, knowing that there are so many other problems within Web3 and within, well, tech as a whole, right? So develop personal conviction in the project and really sell on that narrative. Secondly, for you to be able to grow, especially within Web3, building a community is very important. So, of course, you will have to identify the infrastructures that you're building on top of, the protocols that you are integrating with, and tap into those communities. In this particular case, with the AEZ Boost Hackathon, um, it is likely that your the infra and the protocols that you are working alongside would be either Stride or Neutron, or folks from the AA DAO trying to see how you could um, build on top of the Cosmos Hub. I mean, so these are the current plays within the AEZ, but of course this will eventually grow, right? But of course, be aware and leverage on these already existing large bases with communities. Now, from a fun perspective, right? How do you um, gather enough funds for you to really work on this project full time? Some choose to bootstrap, which is a very commendable way, and oftentimes, actually, from investors' perspective, it's great because that demonstrates your conviction in the project, as mentioned in A. But also, do reach out to protocols in the space and grant programs in the space, and other technical support from Neutron, Stride, grants from AADAO, soon to be Neutron as well, um, for these supports. And then also, particularly in the Cosmos space, there are plenty of angels, right? That could help you from a financial perspective, but also from a technical or a social perspective as well, right? So I know that A is something that is easily controllable from an individual perspective. However, B, C, and D can be quite tough, especially if you're new to the space. And that is why we at Longhash are working alongside Neutron and AADAO to develop a program that could really help you with these three steps here, B, C, and D. Now, from the program itself, and feel free to scan the QR code if you would want to learn more. But I'll also deep dive a little bit into the program itself and share more about the program, just so that you know what are the options for you after this hackathon as well, right? So, how do we help with these three things? And I will try to, okay, yeah, it works. Okay. So how do we help with those three things? If you want to learn more, this is the platform for the hackathon. If you click on this bit right here, Longhash X AEZ Accelerator, there's some information here. It's not all of the information that we have, but it's a good primer as to how we could help out. Now, the AEZ program, right? We have two tracks. We have the accelerator program and also the builders fellowship, and I'll deep dive a little bit more into each of these now. So within the Cosmos accelerator program, right, we will be accepting 5 projects. And what do these 5 projects get? These 5 projects will be getting one, an investment of $100,000. 2, they will be assigned a dedicated venture builder, right? So what does a venture builder do? So this is a 3-month program. Now, at the start of the program, the venture builder will work with you to identify what is the major bottleneck of growth that you're facing. Is it community building? Is it product market fit? Is it setting a narrative? Tokenomics? And typically, once this is identified and agreed on, the remaining 3 months, of course, it will touch on all the things I mentioned before, but there will be a sole focus to overcome said bottleneck, right? And this is where the venture builder comes in and customize the program to make sure that you could extract as much value as possible from the program. So that's item number 2. And of course, the venture builder works very closely with you think of them as a team member throughout the 3 months, and even after, on a lighter touch basis. Item number 3, you have access to our network of mentors. And, the network of mentors are very powerful here. We're talking about, we have over 100 mentors. But within, the Cosmos ecosystem, we have some great minds that you could tap into and build relationships with and share your problems and, get their thoughts on how to overcome said problems. And we have people like, from Osmosis, we have Stefan from Astroport, folks from ICF, from Informal, Jack from Strangelove, etc. We recently did a Twitter space with Zaki, who is very happy to share and also be a mentor, to be connected. Sorry. So these are the kind of minds that you could tap into and and build a relationship with. Now, fourthly, we also have a an exclusive discussion almost every other week, right? So this exclusive discussion, and when I say exclusive, I don't mean it in a sense where I mean it in a sense where it's a close knit discussion and it's a free space for you to discuss on certain topics with thought leaders, as mentioned before, right? We have topics like smart contract security, where we talk about how to potentially minimize your smart contract auditing costs in the future, how to navigate around the legal space, how to build a community, how to navigate around tokenomics, how to eventually fundraise. And you have access to the greatest minds in the space, through these fireside chats and workshops. Now, at the end of the program, there's a demo day whereby you could display your project in public, but we also record your pitches and send that to our network of 8,000 plus investors. Now, we take a lot of pride and we put in a lot of effort in trying to help make sure you can sustain your journey even post program. And in the previous, let's take the previous accelerator as an example, which is the world's first cross-chain accelerator that we did alongside XLR. We had 5 projects coming into the accelerator track, and 4 of them has managed to get subsequent funding. So we're quite hands-on with this. Right. So that's what you get with the accelerator program. Now with the Builders Fellowship is slightly different. It is a lighter touch way for you to get value from our program. Now, you get 3 things from this. You get access to the Long Hash X team, where we could sort of be like a mentor to you. You have access to our almost bi-weekly fireside chats and workshops. And lastly, whenever, if you are interested in raising funds, we could help you get connected for an expedited application with folks from AA and Neutron, right? And I know Neutron's grants DAO is currently under proposal. They have 2 of them there. But eventually, once that's live and hopefully approved, you could also leverage on that public funding program as well. Yeah. So this is sort of like a non-binding commercial way for you to get support from our AEZ accelerator. Right. So I'll stop there, because I think there's quite a lot of information. And of course, if you're interested, do check out this tab right here. If you want to learn more, we have a blog post that shares more about this. And if you would like to apply, I do highly encourage that you do. And currently we are already running interviews for some of the projects, and we do this on a rolling basis. So if there's any urgency from your end as well, very happy to explore that. Applications are open until 29th of September. This is when the cohort starts in the middle of October, right after Cosmoverse. I think it's 2 weeks after Cosmoverse, or around there, around 2 weeks after Cosmoverse. But yes, that is basically the program. And if you would want to get connected to ask any more questions, this is how you can reach out to me. I'm on Twitter, on Telegram as well. And if you have any decks that you'd like to send over, feel free to send that over on Telegram. If you would want to forward it over by email as well. That's my email too. But yes, that is the workshop that I have for you today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send that over. Very happy to answer any of them.
Thanks a lot, Emir. So yeah, for the builders, we have a dedicated section about what Emir just spoke about. If you go on the page, the hackathon page, there's a section long hash XAEZ accelerator, which you just saw on the screen. All the information is available there. You also have the apply now button, which would redirect you to the application. But yeah, that's what we had today for you all. And this opportunity goes beyond just a hackathon. This goes for all the builders who really want to launch their product out in the market, get support from the top tier mentors, from the top tier organization, and yeah, I mean, go out and loud in the market. Thanks a lot, Amir. You also have the socials Amir mentioned, so feel free to bug him, reach out to him
Yeah.
about what you have. And yeah, all the best to all the builders watching who stayed with us today. And thanks a lot, Amir, for taking us through this journey of yours and the amazing case studies. Hopefully
Awesome. Yeah.
that pushes the builders to ship out more projects.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the submissions and pretty excited on some of them, but I'm very sure that there's more to come as well. So for those that are listening in, um, do check out the accelerator, but also on top of that, Neutron has an upcoming grants DAO. Atom Accelerator also has a grants program that you could apply for. But through the program as well, we will also redirect you to all these grant programs so that you could find the best way for you to grow yourself, and grow from being a hackathon project to being something that other people could use and also benefit from as well.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Amy. With that being said, I'd also like to thank all the partners who have made this possible. Long hash X, AA DAO, Neutron, and thank you for being with us today. Thanks a lot, Amir, again, and all the best to all the builders shipping out projects in this hackathon.
Thanks, Mishika. Thanks, everyone. Catch you
Thank
around.
you. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.